Have at it.
Were you impressed by the crowd with a little more over a week notice?
Yeah, I don't know how many we have here today. Seven or eight?
We're estimating 10.
10? So yeah, it's a great crowd. You know, it's considering it's at 9:45 in the morning, and if we'd had it butted up against the football game, I think we could have probably filled it up, but there was no way to do it because there's not enough people to work both events. So, but it was great. Our fans are unbelievable.
What'd you get out of scrimmage, Coach?
I don't know. Probably not a lot. But we did get out of it of playing in front of people, which is good. That's not easy with the, not going to make excuses for our guys, but it's not easy when you practice last night and you're with recruits, and you're entertaining, and then you get up and you got to be at the clinic at 8 o'clock this morning, and then you have a practice before we practiced here, and so. But I thought they did fine. I thought it was pretty good. The thing that concerns me most about all teams is whether or not we can make enough shots, and because I think over time we'll figure out a way to guard, but it was nice to see the ball go in the hole some today.
Coach, I know you can't comment on the recruits that are here, but how nice is it to be able to have, an event like this that you throw together in a week and to have 10,000 people show up and for them to see that?
Well, that's not why we did it, though. We did have a couple of recruits in, but the reason we did it primarily was because of the way that the late night ended, with us not being able to get everybody in the building. So that was the reason we did it. And when you say thrown together, there really wasn't that much thrown together. We just announced that we were going to do this, but it is pretty special knowing that these people do turn out to watch their Jayhawks, and I know our guys. That's probably the primary reason why they love playing here so much, is because of the love that they receive from our fans.
Bill, when you were recruiting Tarek, or at least trying to get him to come here this year, did you think you were getting the kind of the leadership and the personality that you got from him?
We were hopeful because he's very bright, and if you guys have visited with him yet, he's very, very, very bright, and he's beyond his years maturity-wise, and so. Even though that wasn't the reason we recruited him, because we thought he could help us win, but the residual effect is that we probably got, one of our two biggest team leaders in return, and he's been great for our guys, and he's great with our young guys. And he hits them every day, and then he applauds them every time they hit back. It's been fun to watch.
How difficult is that to come into a situation like this at his age and emerge as a leader?
I don't think it's been difficult at all. I think he really wanted it and yearned for it, and the fact that he wanted more responsibility, he wants this to be a home run for him. He's prepared himself from a physical standpoint, body standpoint, to be ready, and I think he wants everything that we can throw at him, Kevin. So I think he welcomes it.
Since you guys have started practice, has Nadir Tharp shown some qualities that have maybe separated himself from Frank Mason?
Oh yeah. There's no question. You can watch. Nadir knows what we're doing, and Frank is figuring it out. But Frank's talented, but Nadir has emerged as our starting point guard, without question.
Overall coaching practice, does it feel like you're coaching a bunch of freshmen, or does this group seem a little bit older than maybe their age?
I think in some ways we seem older, in some ways we seem a lot younger. Of course, people said that about me too a lot. So, as far as my maturity level, but I think that we're starting to get it. But still, we don't play hard every possession. We don't compete every possession. We don't value the things that we think are important that you have to win. But watching our guys 3 weeks in, I know that we've made a lot of improvement. But we need to really improve a lot in the next 2 weeks.
Coach, how far along is Perry Ellis right now? Just his progress from where you got him this time last year and where he is right now?
I don't know how you guys feel, but seeing him every day, and like today, Perry could easily be our leading scorer. He's played great. He's more confident. He's matured. He's always been coachable, but he's coachable in a way now where it's not defensive. When somebody gets onto him or corrects him, sometimes okay. He's not like that at all. He wants give me more, and he's matured a lot. He'll have a big year for us, I feel.
Bill, is there much of a gap between your returning guys and then your new guys in terms of when you watch them and what you want them to do? Does that kind of still exist?
I think from a talent standpoint, there is a gap. our new guys are talented. From a knowledge standpoint, there's a gap. Our new guys don't know what they're doing. But if you look at it, if we can get 2 veterans, let's say, on the court at once, it makes it a lot easier for those young guys to play. Or 3 veterans, but we're not going to look very good if we have 5 newcomers out there. We need some stability out there. And it's always best if you have a point guard, and it's always best if you have a big, because the bigs can coach the bigs, and the point guard can coach the perimeter. So, but there's a gap, but it's narrowing.
Nadir seemed to be doing plenty of that as far as talking on the court today. Is that what you're looking for him to do?
Yeah, he's got to talk. All good guards talk, and he has no. He's very comfortable in doing that. That's not anything abnormal for him.
How is Andrew White doing?
I think he's playing well. He just does what he does. Sometimes he took a couple bad ones today, but for the most part, take open shots and make a decent percentage. And he's a good rebounder and doesn't make a lot of mental mistakes. And I think he's playing pretty well.
Every defensive rebound, you can hear the coaches yelling, "Push it." Do you think this has got a chance to be your fastest team up and down?
Yeah, I do. But we don't run though. Running is something that you condition your brain to do every single time. We run when we want to run. And like Andrew Wiggins is the worst we have at that, because if he feels like he can get something, he'll take off. But sometimes he doesn't, but he doesn't understand when he runs, it stretches defense, and we can play behind that. So that's just understanding and figuring it out. But with he and Wayne and Andrew White on the wing, and with Maury and Perry and Tariq and those guys, the way they run, I think this could be the quickest team we've had to get up and down the court. But we got to do it every possession.
Between now and a week from Tuesday, do you have a barometer what you want to get done before you guys take the court?
That would be our first exhibition, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to work against the zone. We got to work on games. We hadn't worked on game situations yet at all. I mean, there's a lot of things we have to do, and we probably need to get in, 8 or 10 crutches or whatever, which are plays when we run bad offense. At least we know we can get a good shot, by getting a little help, and a lot of things we need to do. But the biggest thing is probably scrimmage more and play more 4-minute games or 3-minute games where you have a lot of different situations you're working on.
Do you categorize Tariq as a newcomer or a veteran?
Well, I categorize him as a newcomer, but obviously he's the most experienced guy on our team.
Do you already have a rotation in mind?
No.
Is this all competitive stuff?
No, not really. I think if Connor will be so much better in 2 weeks than he is now, and Frank will be so much better in 2 weeks than he is now, and Joe will be so much better in 2 weeks, and Brandon Green. So I really haven't figured it out. But I do know there's a core, 5 or 6 or 7 that I know is going to play, and those other guys are kind of fighting for minutes.
What do you think about Brandon? He seems to be playing well every time we've seen him in the summer and late night and today.
I don't think, he's probably, he's labored as much as any of the newcomers in figuring out what we're doing. So Brandon's done fine, but what you guys see isn't real, because you guys see him in pickup games, and we see him in practice, and so. But he's starting to get it. I thought today he did a couple of nice things, so he's starting to get it.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Okay, guys.